Friendliness. This is a little bit of a stretch with the word friendliness, but I don't think so, because it happened to me. I come from a very small town in a very racially segregated town in the 1960s. And in 1968, the South had what was called forced integration. And what they did was they made all the schools become integrated. And the schools that had been segregated before, at my hometown, we had Booker T. Washington, which was the school for the African Americans, and you had Idabel Gray High School, which was the school for the Anglo Americans. And in 1968, this is a small town, and there's a railroad track that goes through it, and on the west side, all the African Americans lived, and on the east side, all the Anglos lived. And really, you never had contact with one or the other. They lived on their side, we lived on our side. There was never a side. I spoke at a deal in Alabama one time, and I went to a restaurant, and the place was 50% African American, 50% Anglo, and there wasn't a single African American in the restaurant. And I said, I asked the lady that was my host, I said, where are the African Americans? And she said, they have a restaurant. And this was in 2000. This was not 1968. But I digress. I go back to the story. But in 1968, the decision was made by the government that they were going to integrate schools. And you didn't have to completely integrate completely. You could partially integrate. And so the first thing they did in 1968, and it was, to me, one of the wisest things that was ever done in Idabel, Oklahoma. And I have no idea if they thought it through or how they did it, but they integrated the best students, the best athletes, and the prettiest girls. So Idabel Gray High School became integrated. And integration meant that we got Donald Ray Burris, who was a great football player. Thomas and Charles Gully, who were state champion tracksters. We got the Blackwell brothers, who were great football players. We got Joy Hill, who was a beautiful girl. We got Edmund Hooks, who was maybe the smartest kid in our class. All of a sudden, we had heard all these stories about the African Americans all of our lives, and all of a sudden, we're practicing football with Donald Ray Burris. And we had been told that they were lazy and they were this and this, and we heard all the bad things. And here's the hardest working, smartest, best athlete with the best team attitude on it. And what happened was we had integration without any problem whatsoever. And the reason was it completely changed our exposures. We had been exposed to the negativity of the different races. But when we got Joy Hill, and we got Gladys Scales, and we got Donald Ray Burris, and Thomas Gully, and Edmund Hooks, and Michael Blackwell, we see and we go, gee, they're smarter than we are. They're better athletes than we are. They're beautiful girls. And it was, everything became friendly. And all of a sudden, we had friends with a different race. And it completely changed the way integration was brought up in a small town in Oklahoma. And I don't know if our administration was that smart or that good, But the word friendliness, it became, to this day, as I've said it before, Donald Ray Burris, Thomas Gully, Charles Gully, those people are some of the best friends I've ever had in my life. And it's because when we integrated, they became us and we became them. And it was that friendliness. I mean, all of a sudden, they're friends, we're friends, and the quality took on a different nature when the friend became something that our parents really didn't understand. And it made us feel a little bit better about ourselves because we felt we were pioneers in doing something that really hadn't been done. And that's what friendliness is. Sometimes it's sitting in the cafeteria with somebody that doesn't have anybody to sit with. It's saying hello to everyone. It's being friendly to everyone. It's going out of your way to develop a quality of being friendly to every person, not based on what they can do for you, but based on what you may be able to do for them.